So how do narcissists feel when you ignore them and don't give them any attention? If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're talking about just that, y'all. How do narcissistic people feel when you ignore them and just don't feed them any narcissistic supply or attention, validation? Stay tuned, like and subscribe for more. The best way to put out a fire is to suffocate it. In this situation, the narcissist is the fire and the attention is the air. So don't give the narcissistic person any attention. That's why no contact works with narcissistic people. Narcissists hate being ignored because being ignored is almost equal to being insignificant in somebody else's life. So that's why if you ghost a narcissist or if you go no contact with a narcissist, they typically rage out. They go crazy. They try to blow your phone up. They pop up at your job. They do things like that in order to put themselves right in front of you so you can't ignore them, right? So that's why no contact is so important, because if you're just ignoring somebody, if you, like you say, if you just ignore their messages or their attempts to contact you, sooner or later, they expect you to give in. Because if you can still read my messages, something I say sooner or later is going to trigger you into responding to me. But always use discretion and protect yourself in circumstances, because some people are crazy and will try to harm you if you ignore them or go no contact with them. Hope this helps. Feed me. You ever seen those movies where like, feed me? That's how narcissistic people are. A lot of them just in life in general, y'all. They want you to feed them. They want you to feed them supply. They want you to feed them validation. They want you to feed their needs and wants and whatnot, y'all. This is part of the dynamic of dealing with a toxic narcissistic person. If you couldn't read the text on the screen, y'all, it says how narcissists feel if you ignore them and don't give them any attention. Like, that's literally, I read it out loud when I said it. But yeah, if y'all wanted some clarification, I couldn't see it there. What does it say? That's what it says. Narcissistic people, y'all, hate. That's that inner demonic voice y'all think narcissists have that came out right there. Just like, narcissist, this is my regular voice. Narcissist, hate. And this is the inner demon narcissist voice. Hate. Narcissist, hate. Being ignored. This is my middle voice right here. Narcissistic people, y'all, do hate being ignored. They hate when you don't give them attention. Hate it, y'all. I'm just telling you, if you want to set a narcissist off, ignore them. If you want to set a narcissist off, just ignore them. Don't give them any attention. Go no contact. That will set a lot of narcissists off. You're like, why the hell? Like, especially y'all, sometimes a narcissist will tell you that they hate you, that they don't want to be with you, that they see no benefit in this relationship, that you are the worst person that they've ever met. You're a horrible human being. They can't believe they've been with you this long. And they'll tell you all of that stuff, but then you want to leave them, but won't leave you. So when you want to leave them for being horrible to you, they lose their damn minds. When you just ignore them, or when they're at work and you come home and move your stuff out, and they're like, where you go? I moved out. You said you hated me and you didn't want to be with me anymore. What the hell? Wow, you gonna leave like that? Click, and you hang up on them and you ignore them. You get 155 phone calls, some threatening text messages. If the anger doesn't work, they'll switch to niceness. If niceness doesn't work, they'll switch to guilt. If guilt doesn't work, they'll go back to anger, then back to niceness. They'll try whatever it takes to get you back home. And guess what happens, y'all? If you go back home to them, they treat you worse. But why would they treat us worse, Lee, when they work so hard to get us back? Because they're angry as hell at you for ignoring them, for breaking up with them, for going no contact with them, for not giving them any supply or validation, for not being there for them to be their emotional punching bag. They hate, y'all. Goddamn, y'all. I can't convey it enough in this video. I wish y'all would see me in person right now. I just like hate it. Yeah, the fire and the flame and the anger that narcissistic people have for people who ignore them is just out of this damn world. It is just like them. It's almost unmatched. It's almost unmatched anger and hatred for somebody who ignores them. It's almost unmatched. Just fury. Narcissists hate it, and that's part of the process. That's part of the dealing with a narcissist. That's part of dealing with a toxic person. Like, they hate being ignored. They don't want you to ignore them. That's part of it. Like, they want to be the center of attention in your life. Narcissistic people, it seems like when you ignore them or starve them of attention, it seems like they just start to wither out and die. Like, it's like a damn plant, like or a weed. Like, if you're not watering the weeds or feeding the weeds die. just like a plant dies. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not watering them or feeding them nutrients or doing whatever you feel like in that space, they're going to wither and die out. So they don't want to wither and die out. A weed will wrap around the plant a couple more times or dig the roots deeper to try to suck some more nutrients from the plant. So they are trying to dig their roots deeper in you. Don't water the weeds. When you give a narcissist attention, when you give a narcissistic person attention and feed their supply and validate them for when they don't deserve it, it's just like you're watering weeds. Don't water the weeds. Weeds grow and sometimes they look like plants, but they kill plants. They destroy the ground. It's like, aliens could probably look at Earth. If aliens saw Earth, they would probably look at human beings and think we're weeds because we're destroying the Earth. Like tearing down all these trees to build buildings, and like you're destroying the Earth. It's like you're weeds. Stop watering the weeds. You see, weeds. Don't water the weeds. Narcissists hate being ignored, y'all. That's why it sets them off so much. Like, how do narcissists feel if you go no contact? They go crazy. A lot of them go crazy. Not all of them, y'all. Sometimes when you ignore a narcissist, they'll just ignore you right back. You go no contact with them, they don't contact you. Their pride and their ego is too high to make them reach out to you. Their pride and the ego is way too high to reach out. It just is. It's one of those things right there. Way too high to reach out to you. And that's what happens, y'all. That's literally what happens in these spaces. It happens in these spaces. It happens in these spaces, y'all. It just does. So they hate being ignored. They come back to you for attention. So that's why sometimes, y'all, if you ignore a narcissist, you break up with them, you seek elsewhere for that validation. That's why they'll leave you and go try to find somebody else. They need their source of supply. They need their source of validation to justify their existences. So they go find somebody else to get supply from. They go find somebody else to get that validation from. They go find somebody else to get to whatever they're looking for. They go find somebody else for it. And it's not because they don't care about you. I feel like sometimes they don't care about you. It's not because they don't care about you. It's because they care about themselves more. It's not the fact that they don't care about you. It's the fact that they care about themselves more. Like, you're not going to come first to a narcissist, y'all. They're not going to put you first. In the beginning, it might seem like they put you first. It might seem like they put you on this pedestal. But guess what? It's their pedestal that they put you on. So they can raise the height and they can lower the height of said pedestal whatever they want to. I raise the pedestal when I first put you on because I want to love you and care about you and kiss you and touch you. I'll lower it when we're going the other way. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with. There's a lot of stuff that you have to empower yourself to go to. If you want to go no contact, if you want to ignore this person, they might lose their minds. They might try to get very scary. They might get scary. They might get very scary. They might not try to get scary. They might actually get scary. They might actually try to cause you harm. They might actually try to instill fear in you to try to get you to come back because they need that supply. They need it from you. They want to sap it from you. They want to suck you they want to suck their supply from you like a straw. So yeah, they hate being ignored because ignoring, like, if they lose their source of validation, it's like they lose their identity. It's like some narcissists live to be validated. And if they lose a source of validation, it's like they lose who they are. If I lose this source of validation, I don't know who I am anymore. If I don't know who I am anymore, I'm completely lost. I'm completely lost. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You see? It's a very unique perspective to be a part of if you're dealing with a narcissist in a toxic person relationship. Because y'all understand this. If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, when you ignore them or you don't pick their phone calls up, you don't even have to break up with them. If you just ignore them by not picking up a couple of phone calls, if your phone died or you were out of service for a little while, you see how they go crazy. You got 100 messages. Well, hope you have a good life, you piece of crap. Wow, hope whoever you're with is worth it. Hope whoever you with, good job throwing our relationship away. You see, you see that happens if you just get a phone, you take a nap, you wake up, you take a nap, you wake up from a nap, you done missed 19 phone calls. You're like, what the hell? I took a 5-minute nap. I literally dozed. I literally closed my eyes at the computer because I was tired. And they lose their minds. So and you can tell, y'all, you can get a bit of foreshadowing how your narcissistic person will react when you ignore them or you go no contact with them or you break up with them and just be done with them. How did they react if you didn't return a phone call in a timely manner? How did they react if you didn't acknowledge a text message in a timely manner? How did they react when you got home late and didn't call them? You see what I'm saying? There's levels to it, but y'all gotta be careful. You got to be. You know, you have to be careful because narcissistic people are out to benefit themselves, y'all. They just are. They're literally out to benefit themselves. And when you ignore a narcissist, you could cause a narcissistic injury and fracture their ego, and they can lose their damn minds. Because you fracture a narcissist's ego, you might get a whole new person. You might get a whole new person from this ordeal right here, y'all. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. My camera battery is about to die, and my backup is right here. So thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already, hop over to Amazon, grab the self-love journal. Check out the self-love brand. Y'all see the self-love is everywhere. I love me. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video, y'all. If you didn't know, we wrote a kids book called Remember It's Not Your Fault, to help kids understand that they are not in control of whatever circumstances they were born into, talk about boundaries, tell them the truth, all of that stuff, y'all. It's available on Amazon right now, or the link in my description of every single video or podcast that you listen to. Thank you so much. Remember, it's not your fault. Peace.